Hey, good evening, race fans. Welcome to Thursday night. This is Across the Infield. I'm your host, Chris, like you, and we are here on MaxSpeedTV. Across the Infield will let us all take a look back at the previous week of racing here on MaxSpeedTV, and we invite league owners, drivers, and even sponsors to come on out and join us, chat about past week's happenings. And speaking of sponsors, are you an online retailer? Do you have a product that may benefit from being advertised on a channel with over 6,000 viewers? Have you considered becoming a sponsor of a series or a partner with us here at MaxSpeedTV? Make sure to check us out and find out how on Facebook/MaxSpeedTV. Tonight, I need to thank, so far, I've got James Miller and Tim Habiak here. And guys, welcome to Across the Infield.
Good evening.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so we got a couple of different things going on here. We've got James Miller. Hopefully Jeff Fisher comes in a little bit here. But James Miller, I know who you are because I broadcast you on Friday nights with the Relentless Racing Series. Why don't you go ahead and tell some people about that series and where you guys are hoping to go?
Yeah, it's an Xfinity league that's broadcasted on Friday nights around 9. We do have a truck league too, hoping to get that broadcasted soon. But it's pretty strict, but pretty laid back too. It's a little interesting. We like some hard racing, but like to keep it green, not a complete caution fest.
Well, I've been around and I've watched a lot of racing. Certainly, you guys put on a hell of a show on Friday night. Definitely very exciting. You guys do some short track racing along with some of the NASCAR tracks. And which do you prefer out of the two there, James?
I mean, well, I'm pretty good at short tracks, so I guess I gotta go with short tracks. But
yeah, I kind of set it up for you there.
I mean, I do like road courses too, and next week we're going to the Glen, so that should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so if somebody is out there looking for a Friday night league, where do they go? What do they do?
You can contact Jeffrey Fisher, myself, James Miller, James D. Miller, I guess that's how it is on iRacing, or to league owner Thomas Wagner through iRacing, or search for the league under league directories of Relentless Racing Series. You can apply. We're open to the word slipping my mind.
Drivers.
Yeah, that
We're just gonna go with drivers. Can you drive? Do you have a wheel? Do you have pedals? Come on over to Relentless Racing Series. James, how many races you guys running this season?
Come on, man.
Oh, come on, buddy. 20,
24.
There you go.
There it is. Thanks.
I'm here to help you, always.
I got the schedule up now.
So, you guys have 24 races. You've run this one. You are going to have to help me out with. How many have you run so far?
We've completed 8 races in 9 weeks. We got one off week in there. The 9th race will be tomorrow night. We got 3 more off weeks, and then we're about halfway to the chase. So that should be interesting.
Yeah, that'll be pretty good. So let's get a couple of kind of more personal questions here. What kind of equipment do you run? And actually, we should start off with a different one. James, what country are you in?
I'm from Canada. If my accent doesn't give it away.
Yeah,
Fellow Canadian.
It's about time you tell everybody where you are. Now, sorry, Tim.
He's a fellow Canadian. I'm from St. Catharines, Ontario. So.
Oh, right on, and also an Ontarian.
Most of my family is in the great province of Quebec, so I get it. One funny thing that happened Friday night, James, since you are Canadian, what paint scheme did you have on your car?
I had a beautiful Stars and Stripes paint scheme.
And why don't you tell everybody why you had a beautiful Stars and Stripes?
Well, one of the sponsors on the car for well, I guess I'll say the league team I'm on called AV Simsport. Owners Jeffrey Fisher. One of our sponsors is Carolina SimWorks. They'll make sim rigs for for computers, all sorts of racing games. They're I figured since we were at Charlotte, also Carolina, it would fit, and I don't know, I just wanted to make a nice Stars and Stripes scheme, since when it comes to the July 4th weekend, I guess as it's called, I'll be running a Canadian car then, so it'll be my chance to get a nice patriotic scheme in.
There you go. So listen, we just got you to talk about your team and your sponsor all in one sentence. That's pretty good. Favorite memory in iRacing, be it in the league, outside of the league. Everybody's got that one where they go, well, this is I was maybe thinking about getting rid of it, but then this happened and I'm stuck.
I think it was a funny one where it was back in rookie street stocks at USA, where my first couple laps I was just running into everyone, and then I got wrecked out. Well, not wrecked out. I got spun out on the front stretch, and I managed to make my way back up to 4th by the end of the race and ran the fastest lap time. And I'm like, hey, I actually have a shot at this.
Very cool. And it is. It's that one moment where you look back and go, yeah, I'm never going to forget that. And that's part of the draw of this sim. All right, James, I've let you talk enough. You wrecked some people. I told you I wouldn't let you forget it. I've been nice all week, right up till now. I gotta let you know I'm warmed up for tomorrow night. We're gonna switch gears a little bit, because we have another driver that is with us, Jeffrey Fisher. But we're gonna switch gears real quick. We've got Tim Habiak here, and Tim, you have a different perspective on the sim. Why don't you tell people about that?
Well, we my company that I own, TRJ Karting, sponsors the Blazing Pedals league that's going on, and my son participates in it. But I'm kind of viewing everything from the outside as a as a sponsor, and kind of taking it in that way and trying to help develop the league from that angle of it.
Yeah, and it's been really good, both getting to know the drivers of Blazing Pedals, which again, Rick and I broadcast on Sunday nights. But the other side of that equation is the small business behind it, and that's your business, trjkarting.com. And I always say this, but go check out the website, guys. It's important. It's good. Support small business. That's what we like to hear. So, Tim, you've had some pretty neat things happening this year, because you got a driver over there that's, well, I guess it's not too out of the way to say he is just absolutely killing the field. And at one point, you had to do something about it.
Which driver?
Cozy.
Oh, Cozy. yeah. He's. Yeah, I think the league. What race are we on? We're on race. Gosh, I don't know. We're not far from the end, but he's pretty much dominated this year. And in Cozy, yeah, he's I don't know. I've never heard of Cozy before this league, and then I started looking him up on social media, and I mean I think he broadcast some of his races on Twitch and stuff like that, and it don't matter the track that we go to, he's contending for a win every week. Whether it's road course or super speedway, short track, the kid just has flawless rhythm. So he was putting a stink show on the league. I think he won 4 or 5 races in a row before we put a bounty on him. And Tyler Gary won that bounty, I think it was. And it's been a blast, just having fun with that and doing, incentives for these guys to race and have fun. That's the main thing that's exciting to me. Whether somebody's going to get the bounty or what have you, I keep on upping the ante, and every time I up the ante, I gotta pay out, because whatever it is, people follow through on it. So
Yeah, well, it's pretty cool because, one thing we know is you win a race, you get a shirt, right? trjkarting.com
Yeah,
free
first
shirt.
time winners get a shirt, and I felt kind of bad because Cozy kept on winning. So I think his fourth race, I sent him a hoodie. And then, you know, so, so I sent him a hoodie, and then we had the bounty for the gloves, for the race gloves, and stuff like that. So we're gonna do some. We're talking to Mark and Ryan about doing some exciting stuff next year. So I'm really looking forward to some stuff that's going on next year with the league as well.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, it's been a lot of fun getting to know everybody over there, and of course working with you, Tim. And I do have something in the works. I'm not gonna kind of spill any beans right now, but as you know, I put together a commercial kind of without you asking, and I hope you don't mind that.
Okay. No.
And I have version 3. You don't know about this, but version 3.0 actually in the works right now. So you got something coming. And man, I hope it's good. Now, I always ask for people who are potential sponsors out there to get in touch. Have you seen any benefit at all from working with your league, Blazing Pedals, from working with MaxSpeedTV? Have you seen any benefit to that at all?
Oh, absolutely. A few guys from the league actually have ordered like gloves. I mean, karting gloves translate over to like the perfect driving glove. Some guys wear shoes. I think I sold a couple pairs of shoes to guys. But my whole thing with the whole e-racing thing, and you've seen it taken off in NASCAR, Formula One, even IndyCar, is then you got I think it's Simcraft is doing something with the road racing side of it as well. Just the see, the best way to put it is my son. I hope in the next year or two to move him up to full size cars. Whether it be late models or Legends car or something like that to progress out of karting. I do all his spotting during the races, and to me, I find that very valuable because I'm not only spending time with him, but it translates to real world when we go kart racing on the weekends. Being able to communicate about setups and stuff like that, that he's learning faster with the simulator than he can with actual seat time because you can't just plop your butt in the seat of the cart and take off to the track anytime you want. So from that aspect of it, it's very valuable, and I'm looking already beyond the Blazing Pedals League and the stuff that we're planning for the end of this year on the karting side of it, with conjunction with iRacing and GoPro Motorplex. So it's that stuff's on the works, but I mean, I just see such a huge value in iRacing, and your partner Rick put our logo on his car. And so far to this point, I've seen my logo on 13 different cars on iRacing, which is kind of, to me, it's insane. I mean, I think it's really cool because you see all these people put these big names on there, Miller, Budweiser, whoever else on there. And I'm seeing cars on the track of people that I don't know that have our logo on there. And that is really cool. And some of those customers are customers we had from karting or that are joining iRacing, and vice versa. They're iRacing folks that have heard about our company and buying product from us. One guy was a kart racer up in Ohio on iRacing and saw our logo on another car and researched it, and he actually saw it on he was watching one of our leagues and saw Ian's truck, and he found out the website, looked at, and he's probably placed 7 or 8 orders with us. So yeah, there's definitely a correlation between anything that you can do social media wise, putting your company logo, putting company information in front of people's faces, regardless of the platform. I mean, that's how you drive business to you. But with the whole Blazing Pedals thing and iRacing and MaxSpeedTV, I mean, it's been awesome. I mean, I couldn't have asked for more of what we've gotten. I guess you could say, return on investment has been phenomenal.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I saw that car actually. Well, you don't know this, but Rick and I live about 15 minutes apart.
Okay.
So I actually saw that car maybe a little bit before you did, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, this is really nice. And I'll tell you, Rick is no joke when it comes to painting. He has it down pretty good. And Tim, a special thank you, really, because it takes people like you sometimes to drive a league to the success that the Blazing Pals is experiencing right now. Great racing every single Sunday night, and it's right here on MaxSpeedTV, and a lot of that due to you.
Yeah, well, I think anybody that listens to the podcast or what I promote on my Facebook page for my company, I'm trying to drive more people and get more people realizing the value of even advertising in iRacing. With MaxSpeedTV or a league that they participate in or a friend participates in. When you look at our iRacing league, you got 6,000 viewers a week. On that, as well as the participants that are in it, to spend 2 hours time on a Sunday night, there's no possible way I could reach 6,000 people that fast, that easy, with a product that they're interested in, in a form they're interested in which is motorsports. So, anybody that has a product that can sell, whether it's related to motorsports or anything outside that realm that they want to sell online, their business that people can reach. I mean, iRacing is a good platform. It really is. iRacing and MaxSpeedTV. I mean, I'm very happy with what's going on right now.
Well, I'm a firm believer that just about any e-commerce can really take advantage of what I consider an e-sport that's really just starting. And man, you hit it right. You're right on the ground floor. So congratulations to you, and again, a big thank you to trjkarting.com.
Oh yeah. It's funny because 4 or 5 years ago when esports started, everybody kind of joked at it and laughed at it, and now you got NASCAR and Formula One, everyone else getting into it. So, you can't really say you're necessarily anybody's late to the game because it's just starting, but it's starting so quick and blowing up so fast that the exposure, how quick these things are getting, how quick esports are getting exposure is just ridiculous. Madden really kicked it off maybe 10 years ago with all those competitions they had, but nobody really paid attention to unless you played Madden on Xbox. But it's just completely taken on a life of its own with the simulations and stuff like that. So it's exciting. It's exciting to see where this thing's going to go anyways.
Absolutely. All right, Tim, we're not done with you yet, so stick around. But
absolutely.
I got to get over to Jeffrey Fisher. Jeff, I hope you're still over there, bud.
Yeah, I am.
All right, Jeffrey Fisher also joining us from Relentless Racing Series every Friday night. You can check them out right here on MaxSpeedTV. And Jeff, James kind of covered a little bit about the league, but let's talk about it a little bit more. And let's start off again by just re-mentioning, speaking of MaxSpeedTV, that's my dog Max, getting excited. Let's talk about if somebody's looking for a league on a Friday night and it's an Xfinity car, who are they going to talk to?
Yeah, so pretty much if anyone's looking for a league and they got time to run on Friday nights starting around 8, or we open the doors for practice at 8 and they run for an hour. We typically like to have the guys, if they are going to run, to show up for at least 30 minutes of the practice. We know that real world things are going to get in the way sometimes, but yeah, if anyone's interested, just shoot me a message on iRacing or search us up on the league page, the Relentless Racing Series. Pretty much just message us, James or Thomas, if they want to run an Xfinity or trucks, and car truck number, and we much tell them from that point if it's available. And also, we encourage teams to join. We like team racing. We like the team points. We like the whole this team versus this team because it's fun. But yeah, we just strive for mainly just clean, hard racing. Everyone knows you're gonna have those races, those oddball races where it's just no one can get it right, and there's gonna be cautions. Happens to everybody. But yeah, we just want good, hard, clean racing from everybody. So if you're interested, just shoot us a message.
And speaking of clean, hard racing, I want to go back, and I know it wasn't James or you, Jeff, but something happened a couple weeks ago that, even as I sit here, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but the realism of this sim, ladies and gentlemen, it is as real as it gets. Right, Jeff? You know where I'm going already.
Yeah.
The league
Take no
owner,
responsibility.
league owner Tom Wagner gets involved in a little accident, hits the inside retaining wall, and then tell me about the rest of his night, Jeff.
Yeah, so essentially, I think it was like the last 10 laps, he got involved in an incident, and I guess his steering, like he hit that steering lock and hit the inside wall, and it popped back the other direction, and it broke his wrist. Like he had his hand caught in between his wheel, and it spun around, and it literally broke his wrist.
So, ladies and gentlemen, more than a sim, this thing is real.
Yeah. I've had it many times myself where my fingers get caught because I do a lot of road racing. My fingers and hands get caught in between the wheels when you're trying to correct it, and it'll get you. You got to be careful. The things are pretty strong.
I gotta give him props though, because if his car wasn't blown up, he was finishing that race. He wasn't backing down.
It would have been a new dog, the crab walk.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing because the very next week he's out there and amazingly running pretty solid, at least for most of the first part of the race. You could tell he was probably getting a little tired towards the end as he started to fade back, but he was out there, broken wrist and all, racing the very next weekend. Man, that was pretty cool, but amazing. So, bless you. I'll give you a couple more questions real quick, Jeff. What kind of equipment are you using at home?
Right now I have the Thrustmaster TMX with a basic. It's like a weird folding stand that I have it mounted to, and I have plastic pedals. Some cheap.
That's okay.
I can't afford all this crazy stuff, Fanatec and all this AccuForce. I would like it, but just feasibly, I can't do it. So
hey, if anyone's out there is generous, it is Jeffrey's birthday this Monday. You know,
yeah.
maybe someone could give to some new sim parts.
That'd be wonderful. Maybe I get that
sure.
extra 2 seconds. Start a GoFundMe account.
Right. And I'll ask you the same question I asked James. Favorite moment in iRacing?
Oh, my favorite moment in iRacing. There's a lot of those.
Yeah, either it doesn't have to be in league, you know.
Yeah. I think I'm trying to think like an honest favorite moment. I think one of my most favorite moments was Bathurst this year. Literally
the endurance race, or
yes,
okay.
yes, because I do a lot of endurance racing. Literally started like a 42nd at night. First, I was up for the first stint. I literally drove the car to 8th on the first hour.
That's a pretty good run.
And it was completely dark the entire time, and it was excellent. Like I just kept banging the apexes, getting them up the hill and down the hill, like passing them in the dipper. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. And then another favorite moment was the 24 hours this year, AV Sim Sport. We had a 4th place and a 5th place finish in the same split for both cars.
That's really good.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I've done some endurance racing, and well, I don't do much racing anymore, but I have done some, and it can wear you out. How many guys do you normally run? Do you run 3, 4?
We normally run 2 cars. We normally have I have a guy that I've been racing endurance racing for about a year and a half. His name is Tomas Reichman. He's from the Czech Republic. Normally, if it's a 12-hour race, it's me and him. And then typically for 12 hours, we have 2 cars. So 2 drivers and then 3 drivers in 1 car. And if we can, we try to do 4 in a car for the 24 hours. Yeah, that's how we normally do it. It's just like me, Eric, James, Jake, Tomas.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool. All right, guys, I'm going to do a quick round robin here. I've got a couple of questions that... actually, you know what? Before I do that, Tim, I didn't ever ask. I know that you're involved with Ian when he's racing. Have you ever done any racing on iRacing?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I suck, but I do.
Well, join the club. I mean, those who can't commentate, right?
Right. Yeah, I'm one of those guys that prefers like the momentum tracks where I don't have to touch the brakes and just kind of let it eat from there. Like, you know, like the big tracks like Talladega, Pocono, Indy, stuff like that. I like those tracks, but where you got to use the brakes, forget it. I'm good.
That's pretty cool. I see. This is how we learn stuff about each other, right? I did not know that you actually. I figured you may, just because it's pretty addicting and you're sitting there watching Ian, but didn't know for sure. We have somebody new joining us right now, Thomas Wagner. We were just talking about him and his non-Danica Patrick moment where he held onto the steering wheel instead of letting it go.
Oh my god.
Thomas.
Everything else looked like Danica though.
You gotta paint that car green for Richmond.
Yeah, no kidding. Thomas, you there, bud? Oh, look at that. Oh, there he is.
I'm hurt.
You are hurt. I know. You have a broken wrist. That hurts.
We love you.
Sure. That's totally what I'm talking about.
Well, listen, I think after this week, I won't be able to say that anymore. I've had fun with you for a week, and I'll let it go. James, I think I've got at least another week and a half.
Have I given you any reason?
No,
no. Okay, I'll
you're
try to
doing
give
real
you a
well.
reason. I mean, I'm not good at ovals. I'll try to figure something out so you can find a talking point with me.
Absolutely. That would be
I would
perfect.
suggest do what I did.
I don't wreck people.
Yeah, you're also not at the front much.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm gonna mute my mic. You got me.
So Tom, we've kind of exhausted pretty much everything about Relentless, but since we were talking about your injury, what's the recovery time? Is it 6 to 8?
No, thankfully. We got another 2 weeks here, so it looks like I'll be running the road course with a current broken wrist.
Okay, and are you full cast splint? What do you got going on over there?
Full cast.
Full cast, okay. And just so people know, what wheel will actually break your wrist? What do you use?
So, if you give me a minute, I can get the full name of it.
It's that long?
It is that long.
Wow. Well, as he is looking for the name, I'm going to kill a little time by talking about utterly nothing. And this, my friends, is what makes a good broadcaster. I can literally go for at least a minute and not say a thing while saying something at the same time. Isn't that amazing?
Talent.
I am so very intrigued right now.
So I currently have the AccuForce Pro V2 simulation steering wheel with the whole 9 yards, whole setup, everything. You know, it's literally ridiculous how much money I spent on this thing.
And mine sewn together by wooden tape.
Damn.
So we've learned it here tonight. The AccuForce will break your wrist.
Now that's I have full force feedback on. So
you need to back that down a little bit.
It's fun. Come on.
Yeah, emergency rooms after a race. Good time.
You have those quagmire arms while you race.
Actually, it was not the emergency room. It was urgent care.
Ah,
Get
very
it
good.
fucking right.
Oh!
Oh, I'm going to have to bleep that. Oh, we're live. I can't. All right. So we have talked about Relentless enough. I'm going to bring in a completely different league now because he is just joining us. Troy Radford, who races Tuesday and Wednesday nights over at Racing for a Cause. And Troy, welcome, first of all, to Across the Infield. And why don't you take me through what was a pretty darn good week for you?
Hey, I really cannot complain about this week. I started off actually Sunday night. Sunday night started, I run the Next Gen trucks. Brought home a second place finish there 2 weeks in a row, actually. Rolled over into Tuesday night. Had a real good race Tuesday night with AJ Rogers, and just me and him had a heck of a battle, and I was able to hold on, pick up the win, and then kind of got a little lucky there in the super late model race on Wednesday. Had a lot of really stout competition, and that's a car that I'm pretty darn unfamiliar with, but was able to survive and bring it home third. So get a first, second, and a third in a week, and brought home all the cars. So that's a good week for me.
That is a good week. And why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about your sponsor, because we are kind of on a sponsor kick this week. Your sponsor Tuesday nights.
Absolutely. So a couple of them here. My main sponsor, of course, Racing for a Cause. We really push causes with the cars and just finding things that are near and dear to your heart. So for me, it is the National Kidney Foundation. I am a kidney donor, and so that's something we've had kidney cancer in our family, and and I've done that, and so it was something that definitely speaks a lot to my family, both me and my wife. So run them. Of course, sponsors past that, I've got the evidence-based mommy parenting blog that's on the tail end of all my cars. That's my wife. She does a lot of really, really good work with progressive parenting, and definitely something to check out if you're a parent.
Okay, and how about your league sponsor on that Tuesday night?
Oh, how could I forget that league sponsor? Of course, we've got the Vapor Trail Clothing Company that's actually owned by Austin Wheatley. Does a lot of really good work. I've actually personally bought some of his clothing. It's amazingly comfortable, holds up well, and he just does a ton in the racing community now. Mainly, he runs a lot in dirt, actually sprint cars. He's a sprint car driver himself, and most of his apparel is at the track in real life. So we're kind of the first step into online racing with him and with apparel. So I know he's seen a lot of good return, but check out vaportrailclothing.com. They've got some really cool stuff out there. And heck, I mean, if nothing else, he's got great stuff and quick shipping.
Perfect. There you go. We're kind of at the half an hour point here, guys, and I was trying to keep it quick tonight. So we're going to round robin this thing with final thoughts. We're going to start off with James Miller from Relentless Racing Series. Any final thoughts, bud? Okay, James Miller took out the leader just now.
Oh man.
Oh, there he is. If you have
we have a
none,
spot
that's
like this.
fine. It's fine. I thought you were there, and I thought you were ready.
I don't think I'm ready.
We'll come back. Jeff Fisher, anything for you, bud?
About to do this Ferrari GT3. Just looking for a good result at Richmond, Naviat Road at short tracks. I missed last week too, my job. Just hoping guys and MaxSpeed can have a up on YouTube.
All right, you kind of cut out a little bit there, but I think we caught the most of it. Thomas
My
Wagner,
bad.
That's okay, buddy. Thomas Wagner, what do you got?
Definitely look out for some new information in our Facebook group coming up. Not Facebook group, Facebook page for Relentless Racing. That'll be finished setting up this week. I'll be announcing a new series that'll be coming on with us. Can't say too much about it yet. I don't know all the details yet. I'm going to take a jab at Dan Lisa here for a minute. Whoever monitors Dan Lisa and actually updates Dan Lisa need to get on it, because none of the new Charlotte configurations are on Dan Lisa, and it's given me huge pain in trying to get any results up. So that's all I got.
All right. Well, if anybody has a workaround, feel free to either get a hold of Thomas Wagner or myself, and I'll get the information to him. Tim Habiak, first of all, thank you for coming out tonight, sir. And any final thoughts from you?
Oh man, I enjoyed this. First time I've ever done a podcast, so I appreciate the invite, and just look forward to working with Mark and Ryan and everybody at MaxSpeedTV in the future, and kind of see where this whole esports thing goes. And I'm on vaportrail.com right now, looking at a couple t-shirts for my son.
Pretty awesome, Tim. That's why we love you, buddy. Troy Radford, what do you got?
Main thing, really happy with everything you're doing here. I know I listened in last week. I wasn't good enough to be on last week, but I was glad to be here this week. You guys are doing an awesome thing here, and especially reaching out to not just one league, but reaching out to the sim racing community. Just absolutely thrilled with everything you guys are doing here. For me personally, man, I just got to keep plugging away. I had a bad start to the season, so need to make up some points here to finish it out, and just keep it going.
Perfect. And James, because you didn't have anything ready, I have to come back around to you. Do you got anything?
I got this now. No, it was cool actually to hear the thoughts from a sponsor's standpoint about league racing. It's cool, and just iRacing and in general. It was pretty cool to hear about. Since I've been racing since 2014, I haven't really seen it in that perspective. It's cool to hear about. I guess talk about hopefully tomorrow's performance can go a lot better than Charlotte. Plan on not wrecking a dominating car. Although it helped me out in championship points, so maybe.
What are you talking about? What's been updated?
Yeah, but I can guess.
Okay.
Perfect. Again, guys, this is why we do this. We're trying to get the whole community together, and not just what happens to be some leagues that Rick and I happen to broadcast. But we want all of our leagues, because there is information that can be passed back and forth, and I believe together we can actually make this whole experience a lot better. So I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight and being on Across the Infield here on MaxSpeedTV. Make sure you guys tune in every night on MaxSpeedTV as we bring you the most exciting action on iRacing every single day. Also remember to check out Across the Infield every single Thursday night about 9 p.m. Eastern Time. If you've enjoyed this segment, make sure you comment on it, let us know, and if you have any suggestions to make future episodes better, please drop us a comment. And with that, guys, good night. Thank you very much for coming out.
Thank you.
Thank you.